Today we're going to talk about multiples versus factors. This is in your notebook. You already have the guided notes for this, so you just need to open up to that page and fill in the blanks and do the examples as we go along. So the first thing we're going to talk about is what's the difference between a multiple versus a factor. So they almost look like they're opposites of each other. Multiples multiplies the original number by a whole number. Factors are divided, they divide the original number by a whole number. A multiple is always higher or equal to the original number, while a factor is always smaller or equal to the original number. Here are some examples of multiples. So it says list the multiples of 8. So it would be 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, and so on. So you can see 8 is 8 times 1, 16 is 8 times 2, 24 is 8 times 3, 32 is 8 times 4, 40 is 8 times 5, and it would just keep going in that pattern. On the other hand, the factors of 8 are the numbers that divide into 8. So 1 divides into 8, 2 divides into 8, 4 divides into 8, and 8 divides into 8. So the multiples get bigger, the factors get smaller than the original number. We're going to look at the least common multiple, or the LCM. So the least common multiple of 2 or more whole numbers is the smallest whole number that is divisible by each. So it's the smallest number that both the numbers go into. Our first example, find the LCM of 4 and 10. So I start with the multiples of 4. So I just start listing them. So I have 4, then 8, 12, 16, 20, and 24. And I'm going to stop there. If I need to add more, I can go back and do that. Let's look at the multiples of 10 now. So the first one is 10, the second is 20, and the third is 30. So what I'm looking for is what's the smallest number that shows up on both of those lists. Well, 4 doesn't show up on 10, 8 doesn't show up on 10, 12 doesn't show up on 10, 16 doesn't show up on 10. Ooh, but 20 does. So there's 20 on that list and 20 on that list, and that's the smallest one. So the LCM of 4 and 10 is 20. Example 2. Find the LCM of 6 and 8. So the first thing I'm going to do is list the multiples of 6. So I have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, and I'm going to stop right there for now. If I need to add more, I can go back and do that. So remember, this was 6 times 1, 6 times 2, 6 times 3, 6 times 4, and 6 times 5. Now let's look at the multiples of 8. Well, I have 8, because 8 times 1 is 8. 16, because 8 times 2 is 16. 24, because 8 times 3 is 24. 32, because 8 times 4 is 32. And I'm going to stop because I notice that they already have something in common. So I look up here at my 6's. Okay, there's not a 6 in the 8's. There's not a 12. There's not an 18. Oh, there's a 24. So there's a 24 and there's a 24. And so now I found my least common multiple between 6 and 8. It is 24. Now, on the other hand, the greatest common factor of two or more whole numbers is the largest number that divides the numbers. It's the largest number that goes into both of the numbers that I start with. So this is done just a little bit differently. So I want to find the greatest common factor of 18 and 30. 18 and 30. So I'm going to go to this page where I have 18 over here and I have 30 over here, and I'm kind of starting this kind of like a family tree almost. So I'm going to look at 18 and say, well, what two numbers go into 18? It can be any two numbers. I know that when I multiply 2 by 9, I get 18. So I'm going to put 9 up here and 2 up here, or down here. Well, 2, are there any numbers that go into 2 other than 1 and 2? Well, there's not, so I'm done. So 2 is the smallest that that number can get. Now, how about this 9? Can I break this 9 down a little bit more? Sure, I know that 3 times 3 is 9. So now I've broken that down. Now, there's nothing that I can do with this 3 because there's nothing that goes into it except 1 in itself. It's called a prime number. Just like 2 is also called a prime number. So when I get to a prime number, I can't go any further. So now I'm going to come over here to 30, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say, well, what two numbers go into 30? Well, I'm going to start with 10 and 3, because 10 times 3 equals 30. So these two numbers have to multiply together to give me 30. Just like these two numbers had to multiply together to give me 18. Well, 3 is a prime number, so I stop right there. So I come up here and look at 10, and I say, well, what two numbers can I multiply together to get 10? Well, how about 2 and 5? 2 times 5 is 10. Now, 2 we've already said is a prime number. What about 5? Is there anything that goes into 5 except 1 and 5? Well, there's not, so it's also a prime number. So now here's where I really have to pay attention. I have to look at what numbers, so I'm looking just at the end, the last number. So this 9 doesn't count, and this 10 doesn't count because I broke it down further. So I'm looking at the last part of each branch. And I'm looking for things that are in common on the 18 list and on the 30 list. So I notice that there's a 2 right here, and there's a 2 up there. Now, do they have anything else in common? Well, I notice there's a 3 right there and a 3 right there. Now, the only thing I have left is a 3 and a 5, and those are not the same, so I'm not going to circle them. So now I'm going to look at just one or the other. I'm either going to look at what's circled with the 18 or what's circled with 30 because they're the same numbers. And I'm going to multiply whatever's circled together just for like one number. So 2 times 3 equals 6. So my greatest common factor, the biggest number that goes into both 18 and 30 is 6. Now let's think about that. 18 divided by 6? Oh yeah, 6 goes in there 3 times, right? What about 30? Does 6 go into 30? Yeah, 5 times. So I know that 6 goes into both of those numbers, and it happens to be the biggest number that goes into both of those numbers. So that's the greatest common factor. Let's look at a second example. Find the GCF of 8 and 12. So I go to this kind of a drawing, and I say, okay, well, what two numbers multiply together to give me 8? Well, how about 4 and 2? Now 2 is prime, so I'm not going to go any further. But what about 4? Is there anything that I can multiply together to get 4 besides 1 and 4? Well, sure. How about 2 and 2? So now I know that these are prime, so I can't go any further. I can't break it down any further. So now I go to 12. Well, what two numbers go into 12? Well, how about 6 times 2? 6 times 2 is 12. 2 is prime, so I'm not going to go any further. I'm going to look at 6. Are there two numbers that I can multiply together to get 6? Well, how about 2 and 3? 2 times 3 is 6. So now I'm looking at the end of the branches. So I have a 2, and a 2. And then I come over here and I have a 2, a 3, and a 2. So I look for something that's the same on both. Well, here's a 2, and there's a 2. There's another 2, and there's a 2. And so now I haven't circled this 2 and I haven't circled this 3 because they don't match up, so they don't get circled. So now I just look at the numbers that are circled for one set of numbers. So either I look at all the numbers that are circled for 8 or I look at all the numbers that are circled for 12. So let's look at 8. I have 2 times 2. Those are the two things I have circled, which is 4. So 4 is the greatest common factor of 8 and 12. Now, does 4 go into 8? Yep, 2 times. And does 4 go into 12? Yep, 3 times. So 4 is my greatest common factor. It's the biggest number that goes into both of those numbers. So you are now ready to get started on your assignment. So you can find it in Schoology and it'll give you further directions from there. Good luck. And you will get time tomorrow in class to work on that. So you do not need to start it today. So we can go over any questions that you might have over how to do this. If there's something that you are confused about, then be prepared to ask those questions tomorrow in class.